Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy Bent with the Chris and Sandy Show. We get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I said, every episode, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
I have Kourtney Kellar. She is a model and social media content creator, and most recently, she became a ring girl for some of the biggest names in boxing, including Canelo, Evander Holyfield, and Jake Paul. Kourtney is currently based in LA. She spends her free time in the crypto.com arena watching her boyfriend play for the LA Clippers.
And we're excited to have the real KK on.
Yes. Welcome.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
So I always like to start the show out kind of the same way. Last 18, 22 months or so has been rough for a lot of people, especially in entertainment.
Oh, definitely.
How has COVID affected you, and what have you done to get through this?
So my job as a model kind of stopped abruptly. So something that was kind of a huge blessing for me was social media. So everybody kind of went towards the internet because that's all we had really. So I started getting these brand deals for food. I started getting brand deals for all these different products. And that's kind of when my social media took off. And I was really happy about that because it's been fun. I downloaded TikTok, which has been really fun. I don't know if you guys have downloaded TikTok yet, but it's addicting. So
we haven't done anything on TikTok, but we do have the Chris and Sandy Show on it.
We do.
I've got a backflip fail that I posted on it where I was at a trampoline park, and even at 50 years old, I can still do a backflip on it. But I got so worn out, and she happened to catch this on video.
I did,
but I over rotated a little bit, and my feet hit the trampoline, and it shot me into the wall.
Yes.
Oh, no.
And I mean, and it just happened to be caught on video.
Yeah.
Perfect content.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'll throw it. I threw it up on that and Instagram. I mean, it ain't like went viral, but people watched it. So
and I think the trick with TikTok is just to keep posting. You never know what goes viral.
Right.
And then one thing does, and it causes the
that's when the addiction starts. Constantly trying to go viral.
So a lot of people would ask, when did you know you wanted to become a model? But I'd like to go deeper than that. When did it click that this could be a career move?
When I started when I was 14, I modeled for a cheer catalog, which for people who don't cheer means absolutely nothing. But to me, that was like Hollywood. And I was on the cover, and my teammates were like, oh my gosh, this is huge. So every cheerleader has seen my face at least once, which they don't know that, but that's like that was the biggest thing to me. But so I did that for a couple of years, and the director said, she's pretty good at this. You should probably get her signed. And I tried, and they said, no, your face is not special enough. You're not tall enough. If you want to be in front of the camera, maybe put her in commercial acting classes. And so me and my mom left and cried, and I gave up. I was like, that's not for me. But I knew in my heart that was so much fun. I was getting paid to do something that's so much fun. I got snacks. I mean, that was like the life for me. But that wasn't realistic. So I went to college. And then I was a broke college student and started modeling there. And then I realized this is what I'm supposed to do. This is so much fun. I can't do anything else. I'm just going to keep trying. And at first my jobs were kind of embarrassing. Like I would be a sampler. I would be wearing hairnets. I would be, you name it. I was doing it, but I was just trying to make a name for myself.
And there's a lot of work involved that people don't know, ain't it?
Yeah, there definitely is.
Because that's one of the things that, you watch on social media and people say, well, all they do is pose. And it's so much. And we know that there's just so much more to that. I mean, it's a big mental thing, too. I mean, just so much.
Creating.
And then you got to deal with the bullies and all that.
Oh, there's so much that goes into it. But I never try to complain because that's just like severe first world problems,
Yes, absolutely.
It is hard at times because I'm always around the most beautiful people in the world and constantly comparing myself, constantly trying to work out, trying to be better. And I'm about to turn 31 in a couple of days. So in modeling world, that's like 97. So so yeah, it comes with a lot of challenges, but I love it. It's my dream job and I wouldn't change it.
So now how did you move into the whole social media content creator? Because again, I guess it kind of blends together, but still, it's a little different.
I don't really know how that happened. I was in my dorm room in college. We all downloaded Instagram. We had no idea what it was. And as I began modeling, it was weird because at that time everyone was posting pictures of their food or
Yeah.
pictures of a group, their life, which is what it was supposed to be. And I started posting pictures of myself when I was doing these shoots and
Oh,
collabing
yeah.
before collaborating was a thing. And I just kind of kept doing it. And then kind of evolved into a model influencer online before it was kind of a thing. So I just kept doing that. And then it was like the domino effect, people would reshare and repost. And then it just I started getting paid to do it. So it worked out.
So you were at the forefront, kind of like us. We met online back in '02 when it was taboo.
In the
Oh,
early days of
yeah.
dating. Yeah.
And we've been
Uh-huh.
married. Be married 20 years this year, but still,
Wow.
we
Yes.
met because of the internet. And back then, again, we were put down and
yes.
never work and this. And now so many people are meeting from the internet. So we were the
Oh, 100%. My boyfriend and he messaged me on Instagram, and
Oh,
I still to this day feel strange saying that, like on the internet.
wow.
but,
But
but what's funny though is a lot of people when we talk about our story and all that, they don't real. I always say, well, it was safer when we did it because a lot of the catfish type people and all
Right.
that and the
Yeah.
crooks and all, they didn't understand the internet just like none of us did
that's
back
true.
then.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think we were
Yeah.
safer when we met versus
That's
now.
right, all the way.
I'm not
Mhm.
Good.
now. You have to okay, they look real.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
they
There's a
real?
whole like
Is that
catfish
them?
industry.
Right.
Yeah.
I do
And
love
then
that
it's fun.
show.
I mean, yeah, we've watched every episode of
Oh, we
Catfish,
have.
and
I
we're
love
still
that
to this
show.
day
Huh?
stunned that they still can find people.
That
Yes.
blows my mind that they give money to these people, and it's years later
Yes.
that they've never met in person. It's wild.
It's like if you don't have a smartphone in this day and time, there's a
Everybody
red
has a
flag right there.
Right. A
If
major
you got a smartphone, you got a camera.
exactly.
Video chat. Yeah.
So that right there should okay, it's quits at that point.
Yes, and don't give money. No money to strangers, so you don't know.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
So as you know, a lot of people, they see the glory in what you do, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles it takes to reach the top of any level within entertainment. And I always want to talk about that because I think that sometimes people gloss over this side of it and they think, oh, it's just so easy. They just do this or just do that if you got the talent. But we both know it's so much more than that. So talk about some of the sacrifices and struggles you've had to go through to even to get to where you are today.
You know what? This is so funny that yes, I about 2 hours ago was in tears because I have this big event coming up, and it's with a very big photographer who's photographed the biggest names. I mean, you name it, he's photographed them, and he's very talented. And it's for charity, so I will be doing it for free in Beverly Hills, which is going to be beautiful, and the photos are going to be amazing. However, a lot of his work is nude. And I just immediately busted out in tears because I recognize all these women and they've done some of my dream jobs. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm so uncomfortable. I think maybe because I was born in the South and raised in the South, I just don't want to be naked on camera. And swimsuit is pushing it for me. So I was just crying my eyes out to my boyfriend, and he's like, you just email your agent, just tell her, make sure it's not. And he's right. I just got it all in my head thinking, if I don't do a naked shoot, then nobody's gonna want to work with me and all these things. So anyway, I was just being dumb and emotional, but I didn't email my agent and told her I was uncomfortable if there was going to be nude at all. And she said, there's not. And we will definitely relay the message that you're very uncomfortable with that, and we won't even cross that line. So that's part of the things that goes into it. And, I don't want to be bullied into going past my comfort zone. And,
Right.
I just look at his portfolio, and we don't know if those girls were uncomfortable. We don't know if they wanted to do that or not. So I don't want girls to look at images of me and think, oh, she's comfortable doing that when I wasn't. So
Right.
kind of a big thing for me is staying in my morals and doing what I'm comfortable with.
And that's great that you took that stand, even though it was a little nudge from your boyfriend.
Yeah. Like,
Absolutely.
what are you crying about? Like, just call your agent. That's what they're there for. And he's right.
So
Mhm.
what does he think of everything that's happened with you?
He's actually he's an awesome boyfriend. He doesn't get jealous, and I think part of that comes from him being in the NBA. He's in the spotlight, and
Oh
so
Yeah.
yeah.
I get to be in the spotlight too. So he's supportive, and I'm really grateful for him that he's I'm emotional and he's sturdy and stable, and that. I hate him for that sometimes, but I
What's
love
funny is I'm kind of the emotional one.
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
She
Yeah,
does get emotional, but
I
I'm the
do.
one
Yeah.
that I can be in front of a commercial, a Hallmark
Yeah.
commercial, and I'm in tears.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. The opposites attract, so it
They
Yep,
works.
do.
exactly.
Yes, always balance it out.
And being that both of y'all are in the spotlight, you both have to have that non-jealousy aspect because of, again, you both are in the spotlight.
Yes, definitely. It gets hard sometimes with him and girls messaging him and things like that, but I think we communicate really well. And if he's ever uncomfortable with a photo shoot I did, or if I'm uncomfortable with someone messaging him or something, we communicate about that. So it
Oh,
works.
that's
That is
great.
awesome because being married 20
Yes.
years, that's almost 20 years. That's really important.
Communication is
Yeah.
Communication
key.
is everything. Because again,
Definitely.
sometimes in a relationship, you may think that, oh, they're okay with what's going on, and they're really not. And if they're hiding it, then eventually they explode, and you're like, well, you never told me. And,
Yeah, they should always voice
and then
that.
you have
Mhm.
this big blowout against each other, and it was for no reason because y'all just
Yeah.
didn't communicate.
Exactly. Just assuming. That's the worst
Mhm.
thing you can do.
Like
Just
what they say, what the word assume actually means.
Yes.
yeah.
Makes an A out of you and me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember that. I've never heard that.
So we talked a little bit about the sacrifice side and struggle side. Let's flip the script and go the other way. What are some wow moments that you've had so far?
Um, so my dream brand to work with is called Guess, and
Mhm.
Oh yes.
I love it's iconic. And since I've moved to LA, I've been to lunch. I've been working with all these Guess girls, and I just recently worked with one of the main photographers, and it was just like a wow moment. Like here I am sharing, the air of these people. This has always been my dream. That's like
Wow.
the Super Bowl
Mhm.
for me. And so it was just like a humbling moment. Like this small girl from this small town girl that was told my face wasn't special enough. I'm here in the studio with them, and they want to shoot with me, and he doesn't want me naked. Like that's perfect. Thank
Oh,
you.
yes. Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I just moments like that, and then just being here. I also work in Miami too, and that's also a dream come true. It's just beautiful because in Texas it's kind of bare and it's flat, and then here it's just beautiful every day, and so it's just like a huge blessing to even be here.
Oh wow.
Love that. As you know, a lot of people they see you, but they don't see the teams behind you. In our opinion, teams never get the love
They
they
do
deserve.
not.
On
No,
our show, they do. So
Mhm.
take a few moments just to tell
good.
us about the team that's helped you be who you are.
Oh my goodness. Family always
Mhm.
backing me up, even when I was told no. But then there's also just in every one thing I love about this job is I work with a different team every day. So I would be on here for hours thanking all of them. But it's the makeup artists, the crew, the lighting, the people who run and go get snacks. I mean, it's literally everyone. In this particular household, we have my boyfriend who keeps me from crying my eyes out every day. And then we've got his dad who's here and he keeps everything functioning. He's walking the dog, he's cooking, he's doing everything. So that I can do my job and Isaiah can do his job. So, I mean,
Wow.
I couldn't do it without everybody.
And of course, your modeling agency to Select Modeling.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I forgot about that. Yes. They actually scouted me and made everything start happening for me. So I'm
Oh
really
wow.
grateful
Oh
for
wow.
them. And it was kind of later in life. It was after college, and they found me on Instagram, and that's when it all started. I went to Miami Swim Week, and they control my social media content and all those brand deals, and hooked me up
Mhm.
with you guys.
Mhm.
So they're great. I really love them.
Yeah, we got several people that we're bringing on through them. So yeah, they've been good
Yes,
for us.
Very
absolutely.
good. Yeah,
Which we love, PR companies and
Oh
agencies and
yes,
all
they've
that.
been so helpful to what we
without
do.
all the different agencies, we couldn't do what we do.
Exactly. Yeah. They're good at what they do. That's why they get paid big bucks.
So speaking of teams, we have a third co-host, our 10-year-old.
Yes,
we allow ask a couple
Christopher.
questions. So Sandy's going to go get him.
Yes, please. Oh my goodness.
And we've got a 3-year-old that later, when she gets older, when she can actually talk more, we'll be plugging her in the show because we are a family affair show. Got to keep it
That's awesome. I love it. Family friendly. I have a 3-year-old. He's right here.
Oh, he'd love to see that.
This bitch. He's a little sleepy, but he's here. He's listening. Oh. He's so good.
So what's kind of next for you right now?
Next for me, I just actually got back from a wedding in Mexico. One of my best friends from high school got married. So today's my first day back and just kind of getting back into the swing of things. And then my birthday is coming up in a couple of days.
Oh,
so
wow.
Isaiah will take me on a date tonight. Really excited about that. And just catching up on emails. This one part of this job that I love is that I have no idea what I'm doing in the next 48 hours a lot of times. So I do have a casting coming up. I've got a booking. And that's what I love about it. Something new every day. Every week is different.
Yeah. Although it's new every day, sometimes we stay booked up so much to where sometimes like, man, I need a day. Like we had somebody that had to cancel Saturday. We had a tomorrow show, but they had to move the date. And I was like, okay, we're taking the weekend and we're going out of town.
Yeah. Road trips. I love that.
Because we love our little day trip. We do a lot, like I told you before the show, we do a lot of day trips. And that, when you're doing a show all the time over and over and over and over, you got to have something where you're like, okay, you look forward to. And those day trips refresh us.
Definitely. Hello.
And she has a 3-year-old.
Huh. Hi, Kourtney. So what's
a little different 3-year-old though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Kourtney. So what's your favorite food?
My favorite food, tacos. I grew up in Texas, and so right by Mexico. And although Tex-Mex is not considered Mexican, love it. Favorite food for sure, tacos.
What's yours?
Mine is pizza.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really
and he would eat it all day long.
Every day, all day.
Yeah.
I don't think he could get tired of it.
I couldn't either.
All right. So what's your favorite TV show, movie?
That's really hard to pick. I love Friends. Have you ever seen Friends?
Years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like an older people show, but it's very comforting. So if I'm ever anxious or just want to hang out, take a nap, Friends. It's always good news. Movie? I don't think I could pick my favorite movie. But I did just watch Spider-Man. Did you see Spider-Man yet?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty good. You have to see it. I don't want to spoil anything. I won't tell you any details.
And what's yours?
All right, my favorite TV show is SpongeBob, and my favorite movie is The Minions.
I love the Minions. They're hilarious.
Yeah, our little 3-year-old, she loves it. We could be walking in the mall, and if there's a Minion in the store, we have to go in there.
Oh, it's so cute.
In fact, Sandy just bought a new big one today for her.
Easter Minion.
An Easter Minion. It's a little late, but she loves them. She's got Minions everywhere, and he loves them.
Can you talk like a Minion?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. Bye, thanks.
Bye. Thank you. Good meeting you.
Now he's been on almost every show.
That's so cool.
And he loves that. And who knows? Maybe we're preparing him for something for down the road.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's been great that we've been able to bring a lot of the people that come on his shows on Nickelodeon and Disney on to here for him to talk to. So that's been pretty cool for him.
Wow. What a cool experience for him.
So what are your plans for the next 5 years?
I would love to get married. I'm going to say that louder. I'd love to get married. Have children, have a family. Isaiah has a house in Houston as well. And so that's kind of our home base and where I see us raising kids. Something special did just happen. We went to Dallas where my family is, and Isaiah asked my dad for permission for marriage for my marriage. So it's in the future. It's coming up Hopefully soon.
Yes. Oh wow.
You know what's funny is we went the other way when it comes to marriage than most people, because we met online February 2nd, like I told you. We
Uh-huh.
talked on the phone for the first time February 4th. February 18th, we set a wedding date. And March 4th, we met in person. So we were meeting in person.
Oh, we met in person for 20 years ago
Yep.
today.
In fact,
Yeah.
20 years ago today is when we met
that's
in person.
special.
Yes.
So when
And-
you know, then
And the
that's-
date that we set was October 5th of 02, which is the day we did marry.
wow, that's
So we
special.
went from not knowing who we were to marriage in like 8 months.
Oh my goodness, that is fast.
Now, granted, I don't recommend everybody doing that.
Right.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
for everyone.
you know, a lot of people's done that and it's not worked. But then again, a lot of people's waited 5 years, 10 years with the person and it didn't work. So you just got to go with what you feel.
That's true. Were you guys older? Were you younger?
I was 25.
And I was
Okay.
and I was 31.
Yeah. Okay. So you had
Yeah.
enough time to know
Yeah.
what you would like in life. That's
The funny thing
Yes.
is, I was her first boyfriend.
oh my
true.
goodness.
Yes.
How
'Cause I
special.
sort of lived in a really small town in Kentucky and kind of sheltered at all up to that point. So
Yeah, she was really sheltered.
yes.
Wow, look at you. You're on a talk show. That's really cool.
And look, and what's funny is when we, I remember when we first started the show, January of 2020, it was audio. And she said, I'll do the show with you, but I don't ever ask me to do video.
Yes.
And-
I thought I would never be comfortable with.
And then October of 2020, she comes to me and says, we were still all audio. We'd done all audio through that year. And do you think video would help our show out? And we've been doing video ever since. Because
Yeah.
we've done over
Definitely.
500 total interviews now.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I'd much rather see your faces while I'm either as a viewer or being interviewed.
Yeah.
It's definitely much better. And you
Yeah, because now
we
it's like,
definitely love
yeah,
doing
now
video.
she's like, when I know we might have to do an audio, she's like, well, I'd rather do video. She'd rather do video.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot better interaction. And you can see when people, sometimes, on video, you can see that, okay, they stop talking and you can tell they stop talking.
Right.
When it's on the phone type thing,
It's hard to tell.
sometimes you'll cut in and not realize it.
That's
right. That's so
It's
true.
just-
Or it could be like a
just so much
service
harder.
issue, something. I definitely agree. But you're doing great. I mean, you guys are awesome. I saw a couple of your interviews with other people, and that's really cool. Really
Well,
cool.
we
Oh, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Mhm.
And what are some sources of inspiration for you?
I love Grace Kelly. I love Marilyn Monroe. There's classic old Hollywood beauties. I have a makeup artist friend, and I like to go to her place to get my makeup done because she lives in one of Marilyn Monroe's first apartments. So
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
I didn't know this, but Marilyn Monroe had lived in, I think it was something like 50 places in Los Angeles over her lifetime.
Oh,
So
wow.
just to be in the same apartment as her, I don't know, that was just really cool. Like, oh wow,
Yeah.
That's a lot of moving.
that's a lot of
Yeah.
moving. I don't know what she was up to, but she was packing. I feel like every year.
I guess it was maybe she only packed a certain amount of stuff and she knew she was going to be in a different place every so
Maybe.
often. And
Probably.
she really didn't have that one place.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
That's
like a
weird.
home
I mean, that's a
base.
lot.
Wow, we had no idea. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And what would you like for your legacy to be in the entertainment industry? What would you like to be most known and remembered for?
That I'm kind. So I'd love my heart to leave a legacy. I want to help others. So that's my biggest motivation. Isaiah and I always do a mood board and goals every year. Sometimes
Oh, that's great.
and so we write down, what we want to be known for, and we want to help. So we want to write books. I don't know. We want to help others, talking about our past and where we came from and how we got here. And I think having a big platform and being financially set helps in the best way. Helping others
Yeah.
financially and emotionally, motivating them that way.
Yes. And if you could say anything to your fans and followers, what would you want to tell them?
Thank you. I wouldn't be able to do it without you. With them simply following me and pressing the follow button, I'm able to share products, share trips, get booked for things. And so without them, I literally would just not be able to have my dream job.
Let's look 15 years down the road and let's say you're a success on a grand scale. Whatever that looks like for you, you can say you've made it. What do you hope, knowing who you are today, that you never forget?
Definitely where I came from. So, quick blip in my past. My parents actually went to prison. They're nonviolent. I love them very much. They're doing great as of today. But they went to prison at the same time while I was in college.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm really grateful for that, because I think I'd be a spoiled brat if they hadn't, because I was always very well taken care of, had a huge home. And that really humbled me. And I had to have multiple jobs and get myself through college. And I never want to forget how, I was treated as a waitress, how I was treated at all these odds and end jobs. And so because of that, I'm a great tipper. I tip very well. Even if the service is bad, I'm like, she's probably having a terrible day. Well, I'm going to go.
That's how we feel.
So I just never want to forget where I came from. And Isaiah as well, he, to be in the NBA, that takes so much hard work and skill, and not many people can do that. And he did. So I think both of us together, we never want to forget our humble beginnings.
And I love that you said about the tipping on that, because we're still in this growing this brand business, and so we still have side jobs and all that.
Do.
And one of the things that we do is we deliver food for people in evenings.
Delivery, and of course that's
great.
Also very tip dependent.
And so of course you look at the app and you're like, I don't know if I want to take that one that far, because again people forget that. Sometimes, especially with the gas going up now, I think sometimes people forget that there are people that are making a living off of the tip stuff, and then it's like, if you don't tip, they can't live.
Exactly.
But yet you're using their service.
Exactly. People forget that they're working hard for a reason. They have a family. I always remember, like, if someone is in the food industry or delivering or doing something that takes that manual labor, it's because they have to feed someone, whether it's themselves or their kids. And so I'm always a great tipper.
It's definitely made us a lot more humble on the tipping side too, because I always try to make my base, no matter what, 20% when we go in a restaurant. Now, granted, if the service is really bad, like you said, I'll still tip. It probably won't be 20%. But it'll still be at least 10.
Right.
Because I'm like, well, maybe it's a bad day,
has bad days
and all that.
And sometimes places are super busy.
But we always leave a tip, no matter how bad. Again, sometimes people say, well, that's rewarding people for bad behavior. I'm like, well, that's between them and God, the way I see it.
That's how I feel.
That's what they have to settle. I did my part.
That's how I feel. And I feel like it always comes back to you. Even if they were just like the worst people on the planet, I'm like, you know what? You need it more than I do, because you're very rude and ugly person on the inside. So take it. And you always get rewarded for that. So
yes, you do.
I love that, because again, we need more compassion out there in this day and time.
More people being humble and kind.
Yeah, I agree.
So tell everybody how they can find you.
We'll start with Instagram. At Kourtney with a K, Kourtney_Kellar with an A. My parents, I don't know why they did that to me, but they did. It's not an easy name. And then TikTok is the same, Kourtney with a K _Kellar with an A.
And I'll leave with one last question. What advice would you give somebody who wants to do what you do?
Never take no for an answer. If you feel in your heart that you can do it and that's what you want to do, then you can. I'm very much into, I love God, but I also love to learn about, the science behind praying and things like that. And it's a law of attraction. And, through him and his energy, his life and everything, you can get what you think about and what you pray about. So ask and you shall receive. So whatever it is, don't let anyone tell you you're not special enough or you're too short or not enough, because you are and you can do it.
Or too old. I mean, I'm 50 and we're doing this show.
Yes, I'm 45. We started in our 40s.
What's funny is we're launching a event in Nashville. We're hoping on our 20th anniversary, but if worst case worse, it'll be spring of next year. But we want to do an event called 40 over 40 because they have 30 under 30, that's 40 right. Under 40. But we want to recognize the top 40 professionals in Nashville because nobody else is doing that.
Yeah, and I also, as I'm getting older, so I'm about to turn 31, I realize how young 40 is. I used to think that was age.
Oh, same
and
here.
now it's like 40 is 30, and it just keeps getting younger and younger the older I get. I don't know if that's normal, but that's really we also need a 50 and 50 under 50.
Yeah.
All those things.
Well, it's 40 over 40, so it's 40 and above. So it
okay. Oh, cool.
Yep. Everybody there.
That way we can and again and hopefully that we can make this into more of a movement. Because again, nobody's doing this, so we said, what, we'll fill that gap in. It's our age group, so we'll fill that gap and we'll launch it in Nashville and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I like that. Well, good luck with that. That seems really cool.
Well, we appreciate it, and we've really enjoyed having you on the show today.
This is fun,
and we look forward to having you back down the road for any updates.
That will be awesome. Let me know. Talk to Bridget, and I'd love to.
And you're welcome anytime back.
Yes, anytime.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your time today. Bye.
Have a good trip this weekend.